Hi everybody, Steven here. Going to do a quick review on this Harbor Freight spring compressor. Cut. Hi everyone, Steven here. Going to do a review on this Princess Auto's Valve Spring Compressor. So stick around, it'll be a short video. See you in a bit. Hi everyone, thanks for sticking around. So here I got this Valve Spring Compressor from Princess Auto for you folks in the States. It's sort of an equivalent store to Harbor Freight. I don't know if they carry this exact one. Here is, I got to flip the camera around because this will be reversed, right? So let me just flip this around so you can see it. There it is there, Valve Spring Compressor. It's like $64 Canadian. There's some of the information on it, right? So let's flip this back around now. So bottom line is, you look at it, doesn't look so bad. I guess for a small engine, small valves, it's going to be fine. For those of you that probably saw me working on my Cleveland heads over here, I was struggling drastically with it. For one, this lever is not long enough, right? I guess if I'm compressing clock springs, maybe it will work. One person on the website actually gave this a 5-star, and I don't know what they were working on, but the engine looked about the size of my hand. So I guess the springs aren't that tough, but this lever is definitely too short. I had to put this on here, this pipe, to give it some more strength. But that's not the big problem. Okay, big deal, you know, the handle and stuff like that. This part here, the screw part, again, pretty flimsy and cheesy, but you know what? It kind of does the job. The big problem, one of the problems, another problem here is if you look, you can see this thing is bent. So it starts to bend as I'm compressing, right? I guess maybe it's, not good enough for this, for 351 Cleveland, right? Again, I don't know what size engine this is good for. It doesn't really say. But the big problem, the big number one problem, is right here. You can see it's bent. And actually, I fixed this. This goes over the valve. So you got your, let me just kind of do an illustration here. So you got your valve spring inside the head. So this basically goes on the spring. Let me just do it like that and like that. Okay. So it's supposed to be something like that. And depending on the diameter of this, the retainer, you can adjust that with this here. Okay, this little nut or wing nut and bolt. Problem is, this thing bends like crazy. I fixed this, but it bent so bad and buckled and twisted. And it's a hazard as far as I'm concerned, because it slips off of here. I would not, once you got it compressed, once you manage to get it compressed, and you have the little retaining, little retainers there, these things. Oops, dropped it. Once you get these little retainers, let's try this out. See if it will. Whoops. These little retainers, there's 2 of them. You got to take them out with your fingers, and putting your fingers near this thing, I don't trust it. If it slips off, you may have some problems. So would I buy this again? No, to be honest with you. I'm going to, I spent money on it. I'm actually going to modify this to see if I can stiffen this up so it actually doesn't bend. I'm not going to modify this part here. I could, I guess, right? But I think I might be able to get it to work a little bit. So I'll show you that afterwards. But would I buy this to do the work that I have to do on a V8 engine? No, I would not buy it again, right? I've been looking around for some decent Valve Spring compressors. It's hard. Where I live is north of Toronto, 2 hours north of Toronto. Not a lot of options I have, not a lot of inventory, let's say. Everything is got to order online, and you can't tell quality by looking at a picture, right? You depend on reviews and whatnot, and so I'm very limited there. So I'm going to do a modification on this, see if I can get to work. But maybe if you got a small engine with really small springs, yeah, this will be fine. But anybody doing with the V8, I would probably say this is not going to do it. It's not going to cut it. You seen me on my other video when I was introducing the heads and looking at the valves. I was struggling to get these things compressed. I managed to get 2 of them off, and by then, at this point, this thing was bending, twisting, and all kinds of craziness, right? So, anyways, that's it. So I give it a thumbs down. Don't like it. It's cheap. Anybody knows any good ones? I would very much appreciate it. Give me some advice on that. But I'm gonna modify that, and I'll show you that once I'm done. So thanks for sticking around. We'll see you in a bit. By the way, hit that subscribe button. Without subscribers, there's no content on YouTube. Okay, so I'd really appreciate it. And it's free. You just got to log into YouTube. Thanks. See you in a bit. Hi, everybody. I might be a little dirty. So here's what it looks like after I modified it. It's still a piece of crap as far as I'm concerned. Again, obviously you've seen I put this pipe on the handle, right? The problem, even though I fixed up this up here, the problem, okay, this is too short. I need a longer one to get more leverage, but you can still see it's bending like nuts here, right? It just can't handle the stress. I could fix that. But also it doesn't lock into place, right? You should be able to set this, go have a tea, come back, play with the valve, right? No, this thing it wants to come loose. So again, this is on a 351 V8, 351 Cleveland V8 engine, right? Here you can see what I've done. I reinforced the brackets. Let me take this off and show you what I did. I just had some angle iron laying around and cleaned it up, welded it. Show you at least one of them here. Bear with me a second. Had to use some bolts I had laying around because the Chinesium screws that they come with, whatever that material is, Play-Doh, it's too small. So I had some bolts laying around and had to put a little bit of a nut on it as a spacer. But this is generally what I did is I got it's locking on me. I got the original bracket here, all right? And then all I did was get a piece of metal and welded it on, and I cut. You can actually kind of hopefully see that. I cut it like this and then down. So there's a slot, so this sits inside there. And I did just some tacks and stuff like that. So this held really well. It didn't buckle, didn't move, obviously, because it's nice and thick now, right? So, and I did that on the other side. So that part of it worked like a charm. Like I said, the thing's a piece of junk as far as I'm concerned. So 64 bucks Canadian down the toilet. But at least I got my valves off the head. So for those of you watching the other video on the head, I managed to get the valves off. That's it. Hit the thumbs up if you found that useful. I'm going to leave a feedback on Princess Auto's website about that. I'll have a link to this video. Subscribe to the channel if you found this useful. Restoring the Mustang, that sort of thing. Thanks again. See you soon. Have a good day.